Hi everyone, and welcome to And So On. My name is Lisa, and today I've got a bunch of crafty things to show you. Okay, so as I said last time, until I get into kind of a rhythm of the fall and what I'm doing, I'm going to just check in once a week and tell you whatever it is that I'm working on. And it may be knitting, it may be sewing, we'll see. I also am going to take you around town today. We actually just had a new measure come in today that restaurants are closed for the next 2 weeks. So I decided rather than taking you to have a coffee, which I cannot do, I took you to one of the oldest streets in Siches. It's called Carrer de la Carreta, and it's one of my favorites. It's a medieval street, one of the very first streets in Siches, and it has some beautiful houses. So stick around for that and I'll take you on a little tour. So I'm going to start with sewing. Now, I don't have a ton of sewing to show you at all, actually, because I haven't been sewing. I'm waiting on some fabric, but I do have this new issue of Ottobre Magazine. And I'm going to give you a full flip through in another video for those of you who like to see exactly. But I haven't actually bought Ottobre for women. I've bought the kids one when the girls were smaller, but I haven't bought the women's one. And this one, when I flipped through it, I was like, oh, this has a lot of really good stuff in it. So I don't want to take up this video showing all of the patterns, but there are a lot of good ones. But I do want to show you the shirt pattern. This is called the Hélène painter blouse. There's actually a couple of shirts in here, but this is the one that I was looking at. There it is right there. And so I'm thinking that I might do this as a shirt. I've looked at some other shirts before, and I've made a couple of other shirts, of course, but rather than making two callies, I thought I'll make a callie and then make a shirt. And there are a few in here, so probably tomorrow or the next day I will get up the rest of the flip through. There are, I think, maybe a dozen or more patterns in this magazine, and oh no, there's more. There's 15, 18, yeah, lots, and they go from sizes 34 to 52. So yeah, have a look for that. And knitting. So first of all, finish objects. I started and finished, since I last saw you, a set of leg warmers for Lily, and I used this yarn that I've shown you before. This is yarn from KnitCrate, and I had 4 yarns that I was thinking of doing a fade with, and it just kind of never came about. And I had already lost one to Audrey that she crocheted a top out of. So I thought, okay, this is even a little bit, you know, it's not really my bag in terms of the color, so let me do some leg warmers. So I found a really easy pattern. I'll link to it below, but honestly, all it is 48 stitches, worsted yarn, and then you just do a 2x2 rib, as long as you want it to be. I decided to take a little creative license and put some stockinette there in the middle because, well, it's just easier than just doing rib the whole time. And I have this much left over. I think I'm going to try and get a little ear warmer out of it for a little headband, which I think I have enough to do. So the other thing I finished off were these socks from Max the Knitter. These are called the You Better Work socks. And so they are work, kind of like a traditional work sock, but with a twist. So they're in reverse stockinette with the stripe at the top and the bottom. I did mine in very non-traditional colors. And I was actually a test knitter on this back in probably almost a year ago now. And I finished one sock in time for the test knit, and then the second sock I got as far as the heel, and then I stalled and I put them away. And so there is a knit along by the Little Red Mitten podcast / shop, and I've mentioned them before. I love their podcast, and they are doing a Socktober knit along, and basically all you have to do is start or finish a sock, and each sock counts for 1. So if you do a pair of socks, that counts as 2 entries. So it really motivated me to get out these socks and finish them. They are in this Mondim yarn by Rosa Pomar. Oops, let me turn around here. So this is Mondim yarn by Rosa Pomar. This is a Portuguese yarn. I got this yarn at Barcelona Knits, again, a year ago. And then the top and the bottom, I made, this is Malabrigo sock yarn in the color Plomo, and that's leftover from my ambient sweater that I did there last year. And so I've literally just used up, I actually still have a little ball. I got so much use out of that yarn. Okay, so I have this wool from Hobby, and this is Dolce sock wool, 75% superwash, 25% polyamide, made in Italy. So I have this in 2 colors. I did try to do a sock in it, but I didn't really love the way it felt. And so I think what I'm gonna do is take the 2 colors, hold them together and do slippers for the family, because I think that it will be kind of well, you know, it'll wear very well with that 25% polyamide. I'm going to use the Simple House Socks pattern. I'm going to put the name of the designer below. So this is a sock pattern that just got rewritten, I think last year, and it was $3, gets lots of great reviews, and I thought it's good for the whole family, may as well give it a shot. So I'm looking to make that pretty soon. In terms of works in progress, I am done the vast majority of my Winterfell. So the last time I saw you guys, I was halfway through the 2nd sleeve. So I finished the sleeves, I finished everything, and I have not yet added the button band, and that is because I need to block it. So, or I have blocked it. So I was looking on YouTube at Suzanne Bryan's tutorial on adding a button band, and she said you want to block it first and you want to leave it for a couple of days so that it is fully settled and, you know, rested. So yeah, so I have now blocked this and rested it for a few days. So my next step is going to be putting on the button band and then adding the zipper. So really excited about that. I've tried it on, it feels great. It's actually a lot softer than I would have expected, so that's good. I still have lots of yarn left. So I have this, I have this, and then I have a whole other one. So really this whole sweater only took less than 3 skeins of this €4.50 yarn. So it's a really good deal. So with the leftovers of this, I'm gonna do myself house socks. So a friend of mine asked me if I could make some house socks for his fiance, girlfriend, partner, love. And I said, of course, because she's also a friend of mine, and I thought it would be, you know, fun to, she said she's always wanted hand knit socks. So after going back and forth a bit, I've ordered some Malabrigo Rios because he wants a good chunky sock. And when you get up into that Aran weight, I'm not as familiar with a lot of them, and I wanted to make sure that it was something, because I have to send it to Canada. So I wanted to make sure that it was something that I felt confident. So I'm going with a Malabrigo Rios, and I've ordered that. That is on the way, but I want to try out whatever pattern it is first, and this is Aran weight yarn. So I'm going to try out a cable knit house sock in Aran weight and see. But I haven't cast it on yet, and I haven't chosen the pattern, but I have some ideas, so you'll probably see that next time. And then 2 days ago, I decided to cast on something as a gift, and I'm not going to say the gift is for because it's possible this person might watch, but this is a cowl. So you can see here, it's a very simple cowl. This yarn here is it's Pirouette DMC yarns, and it's actually 100% acrylic, which I don't normally knit with, but I just love the colors. I thought this would really suit the person that I'm making it for. And so yeah, so this is a very simple cowl. All it is a section of knit 2 purl 1, and then a big section of stockinette. And I can't remember the name of, I think it's called the Chance Cowl. It's called the Chance Cowl by Tracy somebody. So I'll put below. This is also a free pattern. I started this 2 nights ago, and it's knitting up super, super quick. So this would be a great Christmas knit. And then I did start the Brightfeather. So here is what I have so far. It's hard to show you because it's a colorwork yoke, but let's see here. Yeah. So that's what I've done so far. This is my first time doing a colorwork yoke. I now, after just a little bit, understand about color dominance and why things need to be in different hands. I had heard that before, but it didn't quite compute, but now I get it. So after the first few rows, I changed and put the white in my left hand to get that color dominance back. So I think I'm early enough in the sweater that it's not gonna matter too much. Again, fingers crossed. So for this, I am using 4 strands. So I am using this, which is the Holst Garn, and then I am pairing it with the beautiful Titicaca in the same color way-ish. And then I have an undyed fingering sock yarn that I am pairing with this Knitting for Olive. And I'll put the links to all those below. Okay, it's a day later, and the end of my last video did not turn out so well, and so I'm just re-recording the last little bit here. I'm sitting outside, still wearing my Getting Warmer cowl by Espace Tricot, which I realized I hadn't talked about. This is probably, I want to say it's my most worn knitted item. It is in Woolfolk Luft, and people in the past have said that maybe the Woolfolk Luft is, you know, maybe not worth the cost because it is pricey, but I've worn it nonstop for 2 years and it's in great shape. So that's my 2 cents. Okay, the last thing I have to show you before I sign off and show you a bit more of Siches is my socks. So if you'll remember, this is the yarn from, this is the yarn from my, from Fru Valborg. And I actually frogged this, and I'm looking forward to using it in a couple of different projects because I thought I only had 1 skein, but I actually had 2 skeins. So I've got a chunk that I can do, and I've started a pair of socks. And the reason why I wanted to start a pair of socks is I have finally bought 1.75 needles. So these are teeny tiny. These are Addies. Yeah, these are Addies. And they have a very long cord because I do like to do 2 at a time socks sometimes. So this is me just playing, really. Like, I started off with a white undyed KnitCrate yarn for the cuff, and then I started I did a stripe, and then I went into some cables, which is from the Summerly Knits. I'll put the name of it down. I can't think of what's called. Just to try some things out. To try out, like, I've done cables before, but I found in the past, so can you see here how I've got like some elongated stitches here? That's not right. So I Googled it, and it basically just said to make your cables pop, you want to knit the cable stitches where you're crossing over tighter. So I tried that, and I will say that the last row is probably a bit better. Okay, so that is definitely all. I'm going to take you around Siches to one of my favorite old streets and show you some of the doors and some of the details, and then I'll be back next week. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye. So I'm having a walk, and I thought I would take you to one of my very favorite streets in Siches, which is called Carrer de la Carreta, and it's just a really beautiful street, one of the oldest in Siches from medieval times, and so I thought that I would take you for a little walk.